All right, I'm going to work. Hey, everybody. So if I pause, I'm gonna be talking on this video. If I pause, it's because my GPS is probably talking to me, and a lot of times I can't hear what my GPS is talking to me. I don't think you guys can hear it, but I can hear it. Anyway, I'm on my way to work. The traffic in Tampa, Florida, if anybody's wondering. And the traffic here around this time of the day is insane. A lot of times I have to pray before I hit the road. I didn't do that, but Yahweh, please watch over me and protect me on this road, and bless and protect everybody else who's driving on this road. But nonetheless, my prayers are much longer than that, trust me, messing around with this traffic here. But nonetheless, I'm so happy today. Listen, I had ordered a phone holder for my van, and I've been prolonging it for a long time to get one, because I wanted to make videos. Like, sometime I work in St. Pete, sometime I work in Clearwater, even though I live in Tampa. I work out there and I have to go over the bridge, and I get the most pretty, when you go over the bridge, it's a mass of water and it's so pretty. And I was like, I want to do videos and show, you know, how pretty the scenery is going over this bridge, you know. And you're all also going to see the ugly side of how bad the traffic is. So anyway, I'm going to start making content, y'all. And I wanted to start making content like years ago. I think the first time I had made some videos was, I want to say maybe, just maybe, somewhere between 8-9 years ago. And I didn't do very well with making those videos. So I had just stopped it. Then I wanted to jump back on, and I think I had made a few more videos, and then I was like, then I stopped it. So I said, you know what, this time I'm gonna make some videos. I think I'm kind of keep up with it, you know, by myself now, and I can focus on that more. Before I was raising my son, my son is an adult now, so before I was raising my son, I used to get so overwhelmed between work, raising my son. I used to be overwhelmed a lot. Okay, I had way more responsibilities than I have now. But anyway, I hope you guys can see. Let me see if I can turn it this way. This might be a better view. But I deal with this almost every day, because I don't always travel into St. Pete or Pinellas Park, or, well, I don't have to always go over this bridge every day. Okay, so I hope this is a pretty decent view you guys can see. But anyway, I wanted to make some content. It'll be different content. It'll just be me just talking about stuff, and to kind of get my feet wet and doing it, because is this thing going out of view? I don't know if I'm so good at talking on this or whatever, but I want to make different types of content or whatever. Definitely do. Let me see. And I want to talk about different things. I really don't. There's so many things you can talk about. I don't know even where I want to begin. I do want to do some series. I made like 3-4 videos before making this one, because I really didn't like the videos that I had made. So I'm trying to make a decent video that I can actually post. I'm sorry about my window. I know it needs to be my van looks like it's like it just sits in the wood somewhere. I don't even really wash my vanities to be washed. I usually just wash the windows, actually. But anyway, I want you guys to have this view. I want to talk about today about toxic work environments. Now, what I will say is that everybody handles life differently. Everybody doesn't handle life the same. Everybody doesn't handle their situations the same. I will always tell anybody to pray your way through life. I have a better prayer life now. I have a prayer life again. I didn't have a prayer life about 3 years ago. It was the craziest thing. I was working. Everything was not good in my life, but I was making a lot of money. I was working. I had a nice home, a great home, but I wasn't happy because I was dealing with so many different types of stresses in my life. And I remember, it's so crazy. I remember I told myself I'm gonna start making time for the Lord again. And I don't know how long I had not had a relationship with the Most High, but I know that I wanted to begin to have one. And I remember my prayer. I remember praying and being grateful and asking God to protect me from my enemies, and that, to bless me and so forth. When I said that prayer, my whole life fell apart. And I couldn't understand it. I want to say within like a matter of 7 days, like my whole life just started to crumble. And what was so hard about it, because I didn't have any kind of support. I didn't have anybody there for me. There was nobody that I could call and talk to that I knew cared, And so, don't get me wrong, I had decent co-workers and things like that, but a lot of times, me personally, I didn't want to share my personal situations with my co-workers. There was like very little things that I would share with them. I didn't share much with my co-workers, so I didn't have my co-workers to count on. And that was by choice. I didn't have family to count on. I really never had family to count on, or friends or anything like that. So I had to go through a lot of things alone. The person I was in a relationship with, we literally just pretty much broke up. I want to say about 7 months ago. I finally left. Me and him, we talk from time to time, some days more than others. And I want to say the first thing that happened to me was I was in a bike accident, a motorbike accident, and I remember my car was in the shop. I was getting brand new tires on my car, and I remember I think it was my driver's side back tire rear, on the left side, my left rear tire, I could see the thread. So I was like, oh, okay, I need a new tire. So I made an appointment to turn my car into the local tire shop. And when I get there, I'm sitting in the lobby. They take my car, and the guy who was working on my car, he came to me. He said, can I talk to you for a second? I need to show you something. And then he took me to the back, and he was like, you need all 4 tires. And so I was like, all right, well, give me 4 tires. How much is it going to cost me? And it was $2,400. And I was like, okay, can't argue with that. I had a specialty car. I had a BMW, and so it had special tires. So I had to go to work that night, and instead of me, I should have called the Uber. I should have called the Uber. I regret not calling the Uber. And I ended up in an accident, a pretty bad accident at that, where I ended up fracturing my jaw. And I had 2 black eyes by the morning. I had lumps all on my head. It was bad. And it was crazy because I had gotten to the accident like right by the hospital. I had a dislocated wrist, a dislocated knee. I had holes all in my uniform. I had scrapes and scars and bruises all over my body. I ended up losing one of my teeth, and and I eventually just had it pulled out because I was like, well, there's no need to have it like that. So I just went to the dentist and I just had to pull both of my teeth out. So that was just one thing. It was, like I said, it just all started there. And it was I didn't cry or anything like that. It was just, I didn't know what was coming. It was like the beginning of my troubles. And I kind of stayed praying. And then the next thing is I lost my home due to a fire that my son had caused. I remember being at work, and I want to say it might have been a week or two later after the accident that I get a phone call while I'm at work from the fire department. Your house is on fire. And so I get to the house and I'm asking myself, I'm like losing my mind. I'm just like ballistic. Because I'm like, how did this, fire start? And he was like, I was hungry and I turned the grease on. I wanted some French fries and I fell asleep. Now, I think at the time my son might have been, I want to say 17, 16 or something like that. And I was like, it took me a couple of days to calm down, but I did let him know it wasn't his fault, And the troubles didn't stop. The troubles did not stop. The troubles were coming back to back. Eventually, I put so much money into my BMW, I eventually had to give it up because it was giving me so many problems that I just gave it up because I was like, I can't deal with it. And I bought another car that I wouldn't have to spend so much money on. I got me another vehicle. I ended up homeless. I couldn't get no help from the city that I was living in. And I had took my son to New Jersey because I didn't want my son to be homeless with me. And then at the time, I ended up leaving the guy that I was dealing with. So I left him and I moved down to Clearwater. I was working 3 jobs. It's crazy. My happiest job was working with the agency, the nursing agency. I loved it because it gave me the opportunity to travel. I made plenty of money. It wasn't as stressful as having a home base job, but I did have 2 part-time home base. So I made good money. I made plenty of money, but all the money was just seemed like it was just going out the window. You know how you ever, like, in your life, you're making good money, but it don't look like it because your money's going towards something. It's like your money's just being sucked, just out of you. And so I was dealing with my dental issues. I had was living in a hotel until I was able to get the time to look for an apartment. I had the money for it. I just needed to look for something because I was always busy working. That was somewhat stressing me out because I was constantly working to keep up financially with things that I had going on. And so God, you see how this is? I'm looking at my camera, guys. It's this sun. The sun. I'm trying to see if I can get it in focus. And I don't want to get no car accident messing around with this thing. Oh my God. And I'm guessing it's the sun that's doing this, that's making this like this. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm guessing this is the sun. But anyway, my life was crazy. I'm gonna extend my exactly what I was going through, and I know probably some people would say, maybe you shouldn't share. Hey, I don't. My life is no secret. Trust me, all the stuff that I've been through. Come on. There we go. Here we go. Got it. Anyway, so, and it went on and on. I mean, it was one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. Oh my God, here we go again. It seemed like it wouldn't stop. It took, I say, by 3 years, because I had stopped praying. I stopped praying because I was just like, okay, like, what am I doing wrong? doing everything right. I'm working. I'm not, don't get me wrong, I was drinking. I drank pretty bad for, I want to say like 8 years. I don't want to say it was like real bad. I want to say I was still responsible as far as like my home life and things that I had to take care of. But when I did have the chance to drink, I did drink, and I drank pretty heavy. So it was my way of coping with my stress that I had to deal with every day. My anxiety. It's not the best way to deal with things. Don't get me wrong. I understand that now. I understood it then, actually. I just didn't know how. I didn't know how. And I feel like, too, come on, darn it. Oh, my gosh. I felt like, too, there's no way that the Most High is helping me. Like, where are you helping me at? Where are you helping me? And once those things just kept happening, I just slowed down my prayers again. Okay? I'm going to have to get in. I'm in the wrong lane, I believe. Get in this lane so I can move. Now, y'all see how bad this traffic is? Traffic is insane. I don't know if y'all can see. Can y'all see over there? You see on the other side? This is what I deal with. This is what all of us do. All these people, this is what we deal with. But nonetheless, I got to the point. I remember praying one night, and I said, Lord, like, please, enough. Like one more blow, you're gonna blow me. I'm gonna be standing right in front of you. I'm gonna die. And you're gonna unalive me with all these issues that I'm having. Like and like I said, I didn't have any support, even though at one point I was with the person that I was with. He wasn't no help. He just added to the problems, that I was having. And my job, me working in toxic environments, sometimes with the agency, it didn't matter because I didn't have to go. If I went somewhere and it wasn't nice or it wasn't cool, I just wouldn't go back. So I love the luxury of having that choice. And but as far as my home-based positions, they definitely were toxic. But I wasn't there but maybe a few times a week, so I really didn't have to deal with that. So my life was getting better in that aspect. I remember I stopped drinking for 3 months. And I said, okay, I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm focusing. I was like, things is going pretty good. Let me go get my son, because my son seemed like he was miserable in New Jersey. And so I went back and got my son, and it was like, I went out one night. I got canceled. One of my jobs that I had to do was canceled, and my agency called me and said, hey, do you want to go to another facility? And I told them, I said, no. I said, I've been working straight for 3 months, like no days off. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a day off. Took a day off. I had just came back from Memphis. I had the dentist that I had chose to do my dental work. His office was in Memphis, and I know that's like kind of crazy, but here in Florida, Memphis is really not that far from us. It was my first time going to Memphis. I had got my surgery, and I don't even think I was out of my surgery not even a week, and my life fell further apart. And I think I'm gonna share that video, but my life fell apart. So this video is basically about like what I've been going through, my prayer life, my relationship with the Most High. I just want to talk about my spirituality or whatever and stuff, and my experiences, because I think that people have gotten a glimpse of what my sufferings. But sometimes people will label you. People will make you feel like you're trash because you done been through something. But people don't really know. I'm I'm trying to get this back in focus, y'all. This keeps going in and out. And you know, people will sit up there and they think they know what you're going through. They have absolutely no idea what you're going through, and they don't even care to know people just to talk about you, gossip about you, say bad things about you, make fun of you, and shame you. But people don't really know what you're going through. Now, when I was going through all this, you know, even throughout my times of raising my son, because I raised my son by myself, I didn't have any help, and one side of me was not okay raising my son by myself, and the other side was pretty much okay, very much okay raising my son by myself. So this is what I wanted to give you guys a glimpse of. The sun is really high right now. Let me see if I can show you. You probably really can't see it, but how beautiful this mass of water is. I gotta get a better phone than this, because I don't know if y'all can see the beauty of it. It's so pretty. In different times of the day, you're gonna get a different view out here. You wouldn't believe it. But anyway, I'm gonna keep it there. I don't know how much you can see. You know, but I you know, it's crazy because nobody would ever call me and say, hey, are you okay? Did you need any help? Whatever. And I've had some really crazy conversations in the past with, and briefly with the people that I talked to once, you know, and, or maybe a few times that I haven't seen in a while. That's from New Jersey, or from New York. And a lot of people's response, not to this, what I was going through, but just, you know, this toxic, you know, this see life different, this make you feel bad about how you view things or whatever. But anyway, yeah, it got real bad. It got real bad. I was absolutely devastated. I was so devastated I couldn't stop talking about what I was going through. I was lied on. That's why I don't like, nobody likes a liar, you know. A liar doesn't like a liar. But, you know, yeah, I went through some heavy stuff. My prayer life, I finally left this toxic relationship that I was in, because me and the guy got back together. Felt like I needed his help, whatever, because I was lost, just temporarily though. I lost my nursing license, and so I eventually just left him. I would say about 7 months ago or something like that. And I remember praying. I said, Lord, if you get me out of this, I promise you, I will not go back to this person. I will not go back to my ways. I will not go back to ever. And you know what's so crazy? I mean, I really meant being in this relationship. I wasn't living bad. I just was stressed. I was overwhelmed because there was times I had to I didn't have to homeschool my son, but I homeschooled my son. That was not an easy task to homeschool my son at all. My son was having issues in school, being bullied, and things of that matter. And that was, I think, probably the most challenging thing that I ever had to do was to homeschool my son. I learned a lot, it taught me a lot, but it was extremely challenging. The next thing was my work environment. Before a lot of these things took place, and before I started working with the agency, and I always could have worked with the agency, I just hadn't did it. And hold on guys, I'm trying to keep this thing in focus. God got me out of it. I feel like in the worst way, in the worst way. And I had went back to drinking. I went back to drinking. That's a whole nother story that I'll probably tell. But I think my life is so interesting. Things that I've been through, I think it's so strange and interesting. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to exit it because I don't know. Get over. But anyway, let me see. Let me put it back here. This phone is acting up. I think it's acting up. Is it? Sometimes my GPS will get off track. Like, it'll show that I'm going one place, but I really was supposed to make that exit. It's crazy. But anyway, yeah, I just came out of dark times, and I found myself getting ready to go back into that, and I had to. Sometimes it's just the matter of making a decision. That's how my brain works. If I'm clear on my decision, then it's like the stress or the anxiety with that would decimate. Like I said, I'm gonna say it again. If I get quiet, it's because my GPS is talking. So, yeah, I just came out of a really dark place, and I got kind of pissed off the other day, well, yesterday actually, because I don't have a relationship with my relatives. I really never had a relationship with my relatives, but my relatives swear to God they know me. Okay, they swear to the heavens that they know me. They you know, based off of sometimes of the ones that I do talk to here and there, based off of the things they say, I was like, these people really think they know me. And it's funny how people can think they know you and they don't even really spend time with you. You know, they only hear they only hear about the good stuff. They don't hear about the you know. I mean, they only hear about the bad stuff, or you tell them about what you're struggling with. But they can they totally overlook the good things you've done, the good, you know, all the good things you accomplished, you know, or whatever. I had a relative that I talked to. I won't even say I really talked to this person yesterday, and I was on the phone with my mother. My mother's an extremely toxic person too. I was on the phone with my mother, and she was like, my uncle was calling, you know. She put us on three-way. She didn't even ask if I wanted to be on three-way, but she put us on three-way. And I was like, that's fine, you know, I'll talk to him or whatever. And we could barely hear each other. And he was asking me, first thing he didn't ask me how I was doing. He asked me how my son was doing. And my son doesn't live with me. My son is off on his own. My son is, if I'm not mistaken, in the process of moving. I don't know. I'm so pissed this GPS just took me to a whole nother route. Oh my God. But I'll still be getting to work on time. Exactly on time, actually. And so, and my son just graduated from culinary school. So he's, and he just, according, well, you know, what he tells me, he just landed his first job in culinary. So he's very proud of himself. And I'm happy for him, you know. I'm very happy for him. But nonetheless, enough about him. This GPS will tell you something about 40 times. 40 times. You're like, you told me already, GPS. You told me. Thank you. Thank you for telling me to turn left about 10 times. Okay. And then sometimes it won't tell you. Seems like it won't tell you nothing. I don't know. Anyway. And so this relative, the whole conversation was confusing. I'm glad I was able to get off the phone, because my mother was yelling for no reason, as always, as all my life, yelling for no reason. My uncle went straight into degrading me. You know, it was so crazy. Degrading me and my mother. He went straight into that. And because he asked me how my son was, I was telling him, and he just went to just degrading my family, and I was just like, this is crazy. Like, you don't ask me what's going on. Ask me, am I okay? You know, nobody ever calls and say, hey, I'm gonna pray for you, you know. But I'll pray for others, though. I'll pray for others. I've helped so many people in my life, and I'm not saying nobody's never helped me, but you know, I find it with people just don't care, and it's a true thing. People just, if you find a good person, it's rare. It's absolute. It's so rare to find a good person in this world. A person like a loyal person, somebody you can trust. It is so hard. B, I don't depend. I don't look to have support. I used to be like, wow, like I'm always going through something, you know. And if you're not gonna help me, don't hurt me, though. That's my whole thing right there too. It's like, if you're not gonna help me, then but don't hurt me. Don't say bad things to me, because you don't know what I'm going through. You may seen something or whatever, or somebody may told you something, or whatever the case may be, but just say, hey, what's going on? I'll tell anybody, let me tell you something. I do believe in the Most High. I do believe that there's a heaven. And don't lose your crown for me. When I'm around people, I lift people up. I say positive things if I, you know. But I very rarely get it myself. And I'm okay with it now, especially in my life now. Like, I'm okay with it. Like, I like being by myself, like alone to myself now, for the most part. You know, I almost crashed out for like a week behind some things that I was going through. A few things that I was dealing with, trying to figure some things out in my life. How to make my life just a little bit more relaxed, because I started to feel my anxiety and things like that again. So I'm having a good day today, because I was able to figure out some things that, you know, make a few decisions that I know is going to help me. So now I'm back to feeling much better. People don't know what you're going through. I don't talk negatively about anybody. I may speak the truth about something, but I don't go out my way to say anything negative or harmful about people, or to assume things about people, or, you know, like my mother get on the phone and she'd be like, oh, you know, so-and-so is doing this with their life, and you know, so-and-so, blah, blah. And I was like, good for them. God bless them. You know what I mean? God bless them. I don't say anything negative. I may tell the truth if it's asked, but I don't say anything negative about anybody. But anyway, I don't know. I think I'm close to work. I don't even know what time it is. Like I said, I just wanted to share that view and talk. Because like I said, I'm going to be doing content and posting on my Facebook. I do have a YouTube channel. Also, I'm getting into some other things that I'll be posting in other areas of my life that I'll be working on. So that's how that's gonna go. But I think I got 7 more minutes before I get to work. This video is 34 minutes. It's a nice little ride, right? I actually like traveling, and because I go to different jobs and stuff. I like kind of, you know, I'm a traveling person. Like, I like to move around. I you know, like when I was working for the agency, I felt so great. I was like, wow, because I like going to different cities now. I'm older now, and I like to, now, this may sound silly, but I like going to like the different Dollar Trees. Because all the Dollar Trees don't carry the same thing, and they may not have the same snacks this one has or whatever. So I just like going to different Dollar Trees and things like that. And I think I'm gonna also treat myself to, I want to go to the movies. I haven't been to the movies in a really, really long time. If anybody know any good movies that's out in the movie theater, you can post it, even though I could Google it myself. But if there's anything good out there, just let me know. But right now I believe I'm in Pinellas Park. I think I am. Yeah, I like going to different places and working in different places. I can't wait to I think hopefully by the end of the spring, go to sometime in the summer, I'll definitely be doing some traveling. I love to travel. I want to start going to different states because I don't have any kids now. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not trying to get into a relationship. I have no prospects. I really am loving being alone. I'm loving being alone. I like the peace. I like the serenity. I like the peace and the serenity. Anyway, I'm gonna stop this video because I've been holding my urine for like an hour, and I know as soon as I pull up, I'm gonna run in there like a bat out of hell. So just look forward to my videos. I probably post maybe 1 or 2 videos a day. I don't need to do a whole bunch of other videos because I'm gonna be doing content in other areas of my life very soon anyway, that won't be found on this particular channel, that I'm going to be posting on YouTube. So this video is, like I said, the 2 videos, one is going to be on YouTube. I don't have a TikTok, at least not yet. I had a TikTok, but I didn't post anything. But I'm going to be like posting like exercise and different things like that. So just look out for all that stuff, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.